Hi everyone, my name is Nivi,
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Aria.
and this is our first episode of Saratoga Speaks from the Saratoga Youth Commission. Saratoga Speaks aims to bring awareness to teens and the youth in Saratoga about global and local events. In today's episode, we are recapping teens around the Bay Area's 2020 experience.
This year has been extremely difficult for teens, with attending class online, not being able to see friends, and staying at home, but many overcame the difficulties of COVID. For example, one person said, "For my birthday this year, which was during quarantine, my parents and friends organized a surprise Zoom birthday get-together. It was really sweet and heartfelt, and I'm super grateful that they put it all together. We all ate lunch together and then opened gifts that my friends had dropped off on previous days. Definitely one of my best memories this year, especially since COVID."
Similarly, someone named Christina said, "I was injured at the end of last year and I wasn't able to walk for a couple of months. I've been able to heal myself during quarantine, but I couldn't do most of the things that I wanted to do after I was healed due to COVID-19.
This person talked about how she didn't let the pandemic ruin her senior year fun. She said, "Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, my school's senior year activities, including senior sunrise, were canceled. Me and my friends decided not to let the pandemic stop us from having a fun senior year, so we planned our own mini senior sunrise at the park. It sucked not having our entire class there with us, but it was a nice treat and a way to get outside the house."
And here's someone who decided to change their look completely. This person said, "As online school started, I made the decision to go completely bald. I felt like I was free to look however I wanted to and improved my positivity about my appearance. It was an entirely new experience that I wanted to try because in-person school was out of session."
Over quarantine, many teens have been able to find new interests and hobbies that they can do from their house. Athena from Harker said, "I created an online literary magazine called Synthesis Publications with a group of teens I met at an online journalism camp. It's been a really amazing experience so far because it feels great to know that there's so many people reading articles and poems that I've written. I'm glad that I have this platform to spread awareness about different issues and events to express my own opinions and emotions."
Yeah, exactly. Another person has decided to explore their interest in food. This person said, "During my time in quarantine, I have had a lot more time on the weekends and especially after school because there is no driving time anymore. I've started baking desserts a lot more. I can share them with my family who love to eat whatever I make. A few of my favorite things to bake are cookies and muffins because there are so many varieties of each one. And if I have time, I try to give some of my baked goods to my friends who live close by so they can enjoy some of it too. Especially during this tough time where not a lot is going right, it's very fun for me to find other ways in which I can make myself and those around me happy as well."
Another person said, "2020, while difficult, proved to be one of the most impactful years of my life. I started January and February at an all-time high with both extracurriculars and school affairs. When the pandemic shut down everything that I was passionate about, I was hit with a wave of depression and loneliness. However, the time alone helped me find new passions that I was never able to realize before, like photography, while simultaneously rekindling some of my old hobbies like reading."
Someone else has been able to pay more attention to one of their hobbies and has said, "During quarantine, being stuck at home inspired me to cook a lot more because of the extra time I had, since many of my extracurriculars have been canceled. I've always wanted to go to culinary school, but I never had the chance to. In August, I found an online-based culinary school that I was able to join. Because I was going to be home a lot more, I'd be able to complete the course in the given time, and I was finally able to cross something off of my bucket list."
And while this may not be a hobby, a girl named Lori has also started looking up her teachers online on Instagram.
Another person said, "I got a bike, and on this bike I tend to hurt myself, but I enjoy it regardless."
Keeping in touch with friends has honestly been one of the hardest parts of quarantine for me and a lot of other teens. Ashi says, "I've had trouble making new friends, but I do have friends that are always there for me, and they have been since the beginning, so I guess that's good for now."
And another person was placed in a class with people grades older than them. They felt nervous, shy, and quiet until they realized that those people were actually very nice.
And another person said that they sat on their friend's balcony and looked over the city. Despite all of the difficulties that COVID has brought, it has given all of us a chance to learn so many things.
Exactly. So, for example, this person said, "Throughout this pandemic, I've gone through a lot of negative stuff, but I hold on to the thought of getting my driver's license, and that gets me through it. I guess what I'm trying to say is that even though it may seem like the world is ending right now, find something small to look forward to, and you'd be surprised by how a little hope can change how you look at things."
And here's another realization. This person said, After graduating high school, I realized how useless it is to hold grudges or hate towards people. This mindset ended up influencing my relationship with my stepdad, and we recently were able to restart our relationship. We never saw eye to eye, but he recently texted me on Thanksgiving, explaining how grateful he was to be able to get closer with me. I didn't care who the bigger person was or who did what to affect me in such a negative way. It's made me feel that the upcoming year is full of hope just out of the new relationships I've built, and it's made me feel more free.
Now here's a really sweet one. My most memorable moment of 2020 was when my mother gave me a hug when I was going through a tough time. We often underestimate the little gestures that come with human interaction, and that hug not only signified the immense love my mother has for me, but also made me realize how a simple action can change my emotions and day.
This whole year, even though it has been very weird, will definitely be one that we will remember forever. Indigo says one of his favorite moments of 2020 has been overcoming a swimming challenge. He says, about a week ago, maybe the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, my dad and I decided that we wanted to attempt to swim 15,000 yards in about 2 to 3 hours. I was actually quite unsure of my swimming abilities and completely lacked confidence. However, thanks to my dad, I was able to overcome this obstacle and create a bonding experience that I will most likely remember forever.
Yeah, and this guy said, I lost my phone to the ocean at Sharkfin Cove in Santa Cruz. I was swimming and having fun with my girlfriend and taking videos. Then a big wave hit my leg and I felt a rock hit my foot. Started walking towards my girlfriend, touched my pockets, and my phone wasn't there anymore. Started freaking out and dived into the freezing water, and I looked for around 10 minutes, then came to the sad conclusion that it was lost. Sad moment, but it was a fun memory.
And here's another sweet moment. I went to the Apple store, and it was all socially distanced and whatever. And the Apple worker I got paired with was incredibly nice. I called my mother for opinions, and she saw that I was very indecisive and stressed, and so she gave me a student discount when I wasn't supposed to get one. That lady made my entire day, and we need more kind people like that.
Speaking of fun memories, Gwen says, my favorite memory is dressing up as a peanut butter and jelly with my best friend Jessica for Halloween. We went to workouts with little pieces of paper taped to our shirts. I was the peanut butter and she was the jelly.
And Jessica from the last story says, I went on an RV trip with my family to Yellowstone for 12 days. To lower the risk, we opted for an RV over living in hotels so we would have less interactions with other people. Because we didn't have service most of the time, we spent a lot of family time together, cooking, exploring, doing wilderness stuff. I'm extremely fortunate and grateful for this experience in the midst of many of the unfortunate events that have taken place this year.
In our final 2020 recap moment, people really learned to love the smaller things in life. For example, someone says that in the whole of 2020, going fishing in the summer was their favorite experience.
Okay, and that wraps up today's episode. Thank you guys so much for joining into our first ever Saratoga Speaks. We plan to post a video every couple of weeks with different guest speakers and topics each time, so keep an eye out for them.
And if you guys have any suggestions for a topic or would like to be a guest speaker or would like to suggest a guest speaker, you can contact us through Instagram at Saratoga Youth Commission. Our next episode will be discussing climate change and sustainability with guest speakers and experts from the Bay Area, so tune in for that as well.
Lastly, remember to check out other Saratoga Youth Commission initiatives through our Instagram page or even by contacting one of us.
Also, Saratoga Youth Commission is hosting a fundraiser for children with disabilities. We want to implement inclusive playground structures in community parks in Saratoga. So please donate to our GoFundMe if you can, or just share and get the word out.
Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.